if you're celebrating that this year. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's it going for everybody? Um, I'm going to refill my water cup real fast. I'm gonna add some water to my cup so we can hydrate this morning. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning on that. And so that's good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody going how's everybody doing this morning? Hope everybody is doing pretty good. I hope everybody's doing good. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are doing good this morning. It is Christmas Eve. Good morning, the quiet one. Hey, we did good yesterday. There were no issues, quiet one. What are you thinking about that? We had no issues. I don't think we had anybody. I mean, I guess we probably had some people, but hey, Elizabeth Jinx, I think we might have had some people, but we did pretty good. So I'm going to just add my little TikTok going on. Oh, yes. So I don't think we had any, I don't know. You're doing such a good job, quiet one. It's like, it doesn't even feel like the same live to me, to be honest with you. You know why? It doesn't feel like the same live because, I didn't even realize that what a distraction, the toxic people were in the lives. I don't even think I realized it because, that now that we're doing it and we're able to like work it without having a bunch of negative commentary, like we're getting through the workout so much faster, and I didn't even realize it. So, you know, moderation is a big freaking deal. If somebody doesn't, if you don't know, moderation can really help you because I know I feel like I can concentrate better because you guys are, because you're moderating. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even thinking, oh man, so and so, or let me deal with it. Yes. Yes, you're gonna be on your stepper today. Good for you. I'm loving that. All right, you guys, I'm just gonna put on my little waist trainer real fast and get started here. We are hanging on in. It is the day before Christmas. It is Christmas Eve. I had not, you guys already know. I already told y'all I'm not a big shopper. But yesterday I went and whatever little bit of stuff that I was going to do. Bee's Journey, thank you for sending me a heart me. Thank you for getting the #1 gifter badge, Bee's Journey. But I was going to get my son a little something. Hey, A-Marks, that he wanted yesterday. And so I made sure, my daughter as well, and I made sure I did that yesterday. But I mean, when I tell you, like, I don't be caring about or thinking about the commercialism of Christmas. I mean that. I don't have anything to do with that. All right, you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, I gotta get my vest on. I knew I was like, what am I forgetting? You guys, I'm like, what am I forgetting? Yes, we're just getting another day in, you all. I was just thinking before you long, I'll be putting my stair stepper outside. I'm gonna get me a stair stepper because I broke mine, but I love that thing. I worked on that thing for 3 years and I loved it. It got a serious workout. I even let my son use it and he don't need it, but he was using it anyway. So yes, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our treadmill this morning. I just put on my 15-pound weighted vest. My treadmill is on a 5% incline, okay? This is a waist trainer, okay? And so that's what we're doing. Oh man, did I miss something? The thing over your stomach, is it just to suck in your stomach, or is it get your back straight, or is it both? Because a lot of people wearing that when they're working out. Well, you know what? That's what Elizabeth is asking. Why do you put on this waist trainer? The reason why I personally put the waist trainer on is because I was using a personal trainer, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago. And he said when you put these on, it raises your body heat for your body, so it helps you sweat more, and so it helps you lose weight. So though it might make your posture better or all those other things that you said, I was oh hey, 6'6" Visionary, welcome in. I was basically putting it on because I need to bring up my body heat because I don't really sweat a whole lot. And so the things for me that's why I like working outside, working out outdoors in the summertime, because automatically my body heat is going to be up because it's so hot outside. So yeah, so that's what I was told or what have you. And so I don't know why other people are using them. I have no idea what they're doing. But a trainer, that's what he told me. He said that it literally will make you sweat more. And when you're sweating, it's getting them toxins out of your system. Yes. Oh, she's moderating also. She's moderating, Ty. So now, you know how we'll be having them crazy people come into our sessions. They're not going to be coming in as much because I have been posting it. I didn't post as much yesterday, just trying to get everything together with the holidays or whatever. So I was a little bit distracted yesterday. But she's been helping us to get rid of some of the toxic people that come into the lives. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It is Christmas Eve, and we are getting our walk on. We are teaching our brain that, hey, no matter if it's a holiday, we can do what we have to do, okay? Yes, good morning. Hey, Pizza Ahead, okay. You only eat once a day, all right. Yes. Yes. Ty, you said you're going to be talking about current news events. Oh, yes. Well, yeah. It helps, it really helps you guys when you when you have a moderator. I mean, gosh, it's helped so much. Like I said, I can't thank Quiet One enough because it makes it so much easier, because when I'm posting like a lot of videos on my channel on other issues, it's like they see me working out in the morning, and then they're like, okay, let me come in here and torpedo their energy. Hey, 66 Visionary, Merry Christmas to you from Canada. Is it cold in the part of Canada where you are today? Yes, and guys, remember, all week we're working on our mental health. You guys want to talk about anything, get anything off your chest regarding the holidays or anything like that, please let me know. That's what we're doing. So I'm doing a little bit of a looser format. Yeah, oh gosh, I know that's right. I know it's, hey, Sonia John, I know it's -1 in Toronto. Yeah, Toronto doesn't play. I had a film in the Toronto Film Festival one year, and I went to Toronto, coldest place I've ever been to. Toronto, specifically. Yes, 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 yes. So that's what's going on. Good morning, yes, thank you, So. Rel, hey, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. We're getting our cardio started this morning and just encouraging everybody today. If you are somebody who needs a little bit of motivation in the morning, feel free to join us and come and work out with us on here. Yes, yes, just come on and do it. A lot of people make a lot of excuses, but it's okay. You don't need to make excuses. You can just make a plan. Yes, you can just make a plan. Good morning, Vanessa. Good morning. How are you? Thank you for getting the #1 gifter badge. Happy Merry Christmas Eve. How are you guys doing today? We're just talking. There was a question on my threads yesterday, And the question was, why do people get so sad around the holidays? That was one of the questions. And yeah, the Hawkins, Chicago, also Chicago is very cold as well, with all the water coming off of Lake Michigan. But the chill and everything. But the reason why, in case anybody else here wants to know, a lot of times we have a lot of memories tied to the holidays, whether they were memories when we were younger. You know, you could be in relationships and have memories tied to those relationships. And what happens is, when you get older, maybe some of those people have passed on. Maybe your life is so different. It could be good or bad from how you grew up. And a lot of times when that happens, that's why the holidays can generate sort of a sadness when someone is like normally not a sad person. It's really like your memories, your history, your reflecting, and so forth. And it can just be a time where you're like, oh, I remember when all of my family was together for this, or I remember when, blah, blah, blah. And when things change, sometimes it's hard for people to adjust, So yes, seasonal, absolutely. People can have seasonal depression. I'm more or less talking about specific to the holiday and not seasonal depression where because you're inside the house so much or what have you, or you're not going outside and you're not getting that sun, which is your lack of vitamin D, seasonal depression. Yes. So Sonia John, yes, she says, yes, I've been crying because my family is so divided. And this is what I'm saying. And so, and the thing, Sonia, I would just say, and I don't know if I've seen you all with us before, take one day at a time. Don't try to solve everybody else's problems. Don't try to save the world. Just focus on what's going to make you feel good today. One of the things that I really can't stand about, I guess, people overall is that people like to, pass their problems on to other people. You know what I'm saying? They want to, whatever their problem is, they want to make it your problem. You know what I mean? And if everybody would simply take ownership of their own problems, the world would be a better place. What I'm trying to do for myself, it takes all my concentration, right? I don't have the time or energy to take on trying to solve 5 problems for somebody else. I'm barely able to get through a day solving my own problems, right? And so one of the things that we have to really engage in heavily is boundary work. Well, welcome in, Sonia. Welcome in, and one thing that when I do this workout every Monday through Friday, Sonia, we talk about different topics, mental health, lifestyle, mindset, blah, 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 whatever, holiday blues. And one of the things that we talk about is boundaries. You have to create your life. And sometimes you have to put people on the other side of your wall, your boundary wall, because it's just a trip. Yes, sometimes, A. Mark says, sometimes it's just getting through one breath at a time. Miss B. Simmons. Yes, Miss B. Simmons says, Sonia, I never met you or nothing, but understand that kind of hurt. And she want to send you some hugs and say, we need to guard our own peace. Yes, thank you so much. Hey, yeah. Someone said, oh, wow, now I need a monitor over here. I got what you're saying, but you sound selfish. Bye. Yeah, people will accuse you of selfishness because you're not willing to take on other people's problems, right? People will accuse you of that. But at the same time, they don't even realize the struggles that you're facing that you haven't been able to get done, right? And so that's the point, right? That it's okay that someone doesn't understand that you're trying to focus on perhaps your health, right? And they want you to focus on their health. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't because here's the thing. The people that matter don't mind. And the people that mind don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just as simple as that. Because you have to understand, if someone is always coming to you with their problems. Hey, princess, thank you. If somebody, thank you for the rose today. Thank you for the light. You know, when are you able to get to yours? So that's the thing. Yes, the quiet one says it's self-care and self-protection rather than selfish. Yes, hey, good morning. Kay, Missy, 60, how are you? Absolutely. But the thing of it is that we have so many people, their thinking is so dysfunctional, right? Their answer is, well, let me just pass, my problems on to somebody else instead of, okay, let me try to figure this out and realize, wait a minute, this isn't adding up. Let me try to figure it out. Yes, thank you, April. How are you doing? And so that's something that's very, important. So when you sit there and you say your family is divided, a lot of times people be divided because they keep wanting one person or two people to do everything, and then everybody else wants to sit back with their feet up. You feel me? That's a lot of times, that's a lot of clashing that happens in families. But then they'll say to the other person, well, you're selfish because you don't want to keep doing everything the rest of us want you to do. So, again, you have to learn how to choose and be very self-protective, even if people call it selfish, no matter what they call it, right? Because here's the thing. If you're stressed out because of someone else, what they're doing, how does that ultimately help you and help your health? People are dying as a result of stress. Heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes. So they can miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, B. Simmons says some of her greatest blessings came after a storm. Thank you for getting the number 2 gifter badge. User 1560. Yes, Miss Simmons says she has some family members who are grudge holders. It happens. And the thing of it is we can't change people, right? We can't change people. But at the same time, we just appreciate, okay, this is what they're going through. Cool. And then you focus on, what the things that you're going to do. You know what I mean? Help when you can help. And hey, once you've done whatever you felt like you want to do, you got to move on, Hey, user 1560. It is actually in my showcase. This treadmill is in my showcase on there, user 1560. And so thank you so much for liking the live. It is Merry Christmas Eve today, and we're just wanting to make sure that we're encouraging our community members today in case they're going through anything with their family or what have you. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's in there, as is my weighted vest as well. If you're looking for a good weighted vest, my same weighted vest is in there as well. And you don't have to get pink. But I got pink because I knew it would match my indoor sneakers. Yes, yes. Ty is saying she's not feeling her best. Yesterday, I went to the precinct to help distribute toys for 4 hours. Ty stays busy giving back to the community. Can I just say, I don't celebrate Christmas, however, it was very exciting to see the smiles on the faces of so many children. That is so amazing, right? And so, but here's another thing, like say for example, if you don't feel, like, hey, you don't want to celebrate Christmas in a traditional way, but hey, I want to go donate. When we were living in Northern Virginia, the church that we went to would have this Christmas tree. And on the Christmas tree, it would have all these different names of kids who would need toys. And I would just grab all the tags that I could off of the tree. And when I would go to get my kids stuff for Christmas, I would get toys for, yes, hey, user 1560, you're in Virginia, good. I lived in Northern Virginia with my husband for the longest time. And I went to Hampton. So if you're in Virginia, you know what it is. And so I would do that every year. And I really enjoyed doing that because I never wanted to, over purchase stuff for my kids. Yes. So Elizabeth, okay. Congrats. Elizabeth says she's waiting on a response from a job. Yes, I secured, yes. And you said you wanted to work with the canines. I remember that. Well, good luck with that. Good luck. Sonia, girl, I know it's cold in Connecticut, babe. Am I right? How cold is it in Connecticut, Sonia? I've been to Connecticut, I want to say 2 times. I've been to Connecticut. Yes, it's cold. Good morning, everybody. We're just doing our mental health check-in while we walk today. We're just making sure we feel good. We are making sure that as we take on whatever we take on over the holidays, we don't do too much, that we tone it down a little bit, right? Make sure we measure our effort. I already have 18 minutes on the treadmill. 18 minutes, okay? I already have 18 minutes on the treadmill, you guys. So I feel pretty good about that. Yes, only got 12 more minutes to go on the treadmill. All right, I have a 5% incline, 15-pound weighted vest. Okay? Yes, that's really nice. Santa, Quiet One's telling us about there's a Santa letter program. It's really good, Well, it's 30 degrees above? 8 marks, my gosh. That must feel crazy. Yes. Okay, good luck with it. Good luck with everything, Elizabeth. That's wonderful. Good luck with it. Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty much over the whole Christmas stuff. I think that we have, particularly in America, I know everybody here is not necessarily in America, but we have an over-commercialized Christmas. We have turned it into just a fiasco, in my opinion. And with so many people losing their jobs, and it's just, I don't know, it's just out of control, You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't mind, donating, giving back, and all those kinds of things. But the sheer commercialization of Christmas, to me, is just out of control. So for me, it's a big turn off on every level. I mean, it's just too much. You know what I mean? And as somebody said, like, people are just out here trying to feed their families. It's a lot of the food Thank you, Princess Ann. I said, yes, absolutely. Like the food out there right now. Every time I go, to food, or my son's in college, and so he's off campus, he buys food, I buy food. It seems like every time I go, the cost of food is more expensive. And I seem to remember someone saying that the cost of food, hey, Adrian, was supposed to go down. So, you know, Christmas is going to be Christmas, and people are going to do what they want. But in terms of what is happening right now in America, it's kind of crazy to me. So I just encourage people, hey, Adrian, thank you so much for the follow. You have to do what you feel right in your spirit, and what feels good for you as a person. I never have been, if somebody was buying their kids 10 gifts, I never felt like, I had to buy my kid 10 gifts, or if somebody, I never felt like that as a person. So I'm not a very keep up with the Joneses person anyway. But if you look at what's going on in the world today, it's like a lot of despair and struggle. And so, that's where our thought processes need to be, in my opinion. How are we reducing the struggle? How are we helping? And I have to say, I've seen several nonprofit organizations who were giving away food, who were giving away meals, who were doing so many things. Like if I'm scrolling online, and so a lot of people have their heart in the right place. And I know on social media, we can have, a lot of people who are simply tone deaf to a situation. And I ain't mad at it, but don't feel pressured to do what you did 5 years ago when the situation is completely different, is what I'm saying. And also, don't feel pressured because your family members want you to do something, because another pet peeve of mine is people who count your money for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're looking at you and they're telling you how to spend your money. You know what I'm saying? People don't have a right to do that. If they want to spend your money so bad, they need to make their own money and give it to you so then you can spend it. Princess said, I did not put up a tree this year. I didn't either. And I'm not spending $400 on a meal. Me neither. January bills will be paid on time. Kudos to you, Princess Zion. See what I'm saying? This is a point. She's saying, hey, this is the normalcy that I am creating for my life. This is what I'm saying, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a right to do things different. And if you want to create, a village of the wise men for Christmas, then you do that. But people can miss me with their guilt because you're not doing what they want you to do. Don't worry about me. You do what you want to do. Yes. Yeah. The holidays can help a lot of people. Yes. Miss Princess Zila said, yes, it's okay to not be like the Joneses. Absolutely. I feel like that's been my whole life. I've always had my own focal point. And I'm happy, I'm thankful for that. Yeah, a lot of families, absolutely. And that's why you have nonprofits and people can give and do all that stuff. I think that's very helpful. But what I'm saying too is you'll have people, and I'm not talking about the families and the kids, but I'm saying you'll have people who, aren't doing what they need to do 365 days a year, and then they want to dictate to you what you should be doing. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because if you can dictate to me what I should be doing, you should be able to dictate to yourself what you should be doing. It's a point. Yes, oh my gosh, Miss B. Simmons says that she volunteered at a food pantry for several months. And I quit. Why? Because only 2 of the people actually needed it. Based on the cars they were driving and designer bags, nails, and hair. Wow. Well, Miss B. Simmons, I don't know what to say to that, because that's an oddity. Most times you go in to places, people need it. Now, you definitely will have people trying to game the system. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have somebody slick all the time, you know, and that will turn people off. But I would say, for the most part, I think I shared with you guys that that's how I started working. I started working when I was 13 at the Hockessin Community Center in Delaware. And so one of my jobs was I put together care baskets for senior citizens. So that was my first job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very, those communities are the people who need stuff. Seniors, for example, giving to them. Now, do you have people trying to game the system? Do you have young, able-bodied people who act like they don't know what's going on? 100%. 100%. And when they're called out, people don't like to hear it. People don't like to hear folks being called out. But, you can't, if you never do what you're supposed to do, at some point, the resources are going to run out. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, Miss B. Simmons. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're not alone. A lot of people have. Yes, yep. I hear you, Miss Simmons. Yes. A lot of people, I hear you, Elizabeth. I've done a lot of work at Boys and Girls Clubs and things like that with teen girls, different people having a difficult childhood. And it's true. We have that. Hey, thank you for the #1 gifter badge. Mama Kay, thank you for the #1 gifter badge. There are a lot of people have had difficulty in their childhood. That's for sure. And I don't know your story, so I don't have a comment besides to say a lot of people have. That's the only comment I have. I mean, I've had difficulties that were more in the emotional nature, not necessarily the financial one. But I've always hated a victimization identity. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to identify as a victim. So if for whatever happens in my life, I want to figure out how can I improve upon what has happened to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't, like some people become what has happened to them. And I have no judgment for that, but I will say a lot of crazy things have happened to me, but my answer is always, I'm not going to let my, mindset be negatively impacted by the things that have happened to me. I'm not going to let my life become negatively impacted by the things that have happened to me. I'm not going to let my body become, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference in terms of mindset. And I know, a lot of people, succumb to the things that have happened to them. And I have no judgment. But I mean, even from a young kid, I've just had just bad things happen as a young kid. And even as a young kid, I was like, oh, that person will not have the last statement on my life. And that's always how I've been. And it's like, oh, someone who I asked for help, they didn't help me. I bet you I won't ask them again. And why is that? Because I'm going to learn what they taught me was that I needed, let me figure it out, right? And so, again, no shame for people and how they operate, but it's like, when I think about it, it's like everything you've gone through in your life, like people are shaping you a certain kind of way. And you have a decision to make. Is something that happened to you at 10, is it going to control your life when you're 30? Something that happened to you at 15, is it going to control your life when you're 40? Right? And so when you think about those things, they could even be your parents, your siblings or whatever. What you got to remember is this is something that happened to you in the early part of your life. Why do they have the right to have that much power and control over your life? You feel where I'm coming from? Why do they have the right to have that much power and control? Say somebody attacked you or what have you. You know what I mean? Hey, this person, whatever. Why does that attack, now again, I know you go through the emotional aspect of it or what have you, I get it. But what I'm saying is that why should we surrender our power to these people who are generally toxic people, right? When you start talking about your actual life force, okay? Why are we surrendering our actual life force to somebody else who's not worthy? Right? And so I'm not saying don't do it, do what you want. But I'm saying for me, if somebody has mistreated me, if somebody has not helped me, like, I don't look at it, I'm not going to carry it. I'm not going to carry it for the rest of my life. It's like, is it a loss or it's a lesson? It's a lesson for me because now I can move forward and be like, okay, I now know how to pivot. I now know how to pivot. You know what I mean? And I have, people that I've met throughout the years, particularly dealing with my teen girl work. Oh man, yeah. Particularly with my teen girl work, and they really struggle with letting go of whatever atrocity that happened to them. Like I can't get the fact that I was an SA victim. I can't get that out of my mind. I can't get whatever. And what happens is they build a cage around themselves, right? And again, I don't know what kind of unlocking it needs to happen. But it's just like, I don't like giving the perpetrators, the manipulators, whoever was in your life, I don't like giving them that kind of long-term power over me. I just me, because it's like, why are you giving them all that power? Yes, I hear you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says she's not going to depend on her toxic family. Yes, yes, right. But Miss Simmons, yes, nobody is saying that the people aren't strong, right? Right. But like you said, the pain of staying is right, has to exceed the pain of change. And then understand that people are being re-victimized, right? And you guys know when we come in here, I always talk about giving ourselves permission, giving ourselves permission, giving ourselves permission. Why do I say that? Give yourself permission to believe that you could have a better life. I always do research, you guys know, from my videos and stuff. And this morning I did this, I was doing some research. I got up early, actually at 4 a.m. And this young lady was saying on Threads that she was sending her daughter to visit her father for Christmas. And she was paying for the round trip before, the whole round trip, so her daughter could see her father. And so her boyfriend or fiance or whatever, not husband, but he's either a boyfriend or a fiance. She says in this thing, she says, he doesn't work, I pay for all the bills, and he wants to know why I'm not paying for his daughter to visit her mother or her or him or something or whatever round trip, right? And when I tell you, the people went in the comments and went off on this young lady, because they were sitting there saying, sis, you're paying for all the bills. Why, and you have this person who's also saying, and also pay the responsibility of me and my child's mother as well, right? And that might sound to our community, perhaps that might sound shocking. That might be like, ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Y'all might be shocked by that. Like, I don't know. But to me, I was like, are you serious right now? And people were like letting this young lady know, like, why are you engaged to this person who is already putting all the responsibility on you? And to this young lady's credit, she was responding, oh, we just moved. You know, she had all of the responses for it. And what I'm saying is that in cases like that, you have people who don't believe their life can be better. They don't believe that they can have a peaceful life. They don't believe they can have a person who loves them and who's going to contribute to the household, right? And so they become people who become somewhat doormats. You know, people walking through the door and they're wiping their feet on you, right? And that's what happens because this, in her mindset, well, let me pay for this, let me take care of this, let me whatever, everybody's good. But now, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't feel like they have to do anything. Absolutely. And Sonia said that's draining and that's long-term draining. But what happens is that people don't chip away at your self-esteem all at once. They do it a little bit at a time, right? And so what are we always building in our sessions? How do you check in with yourself? What are your boundaries like? Why am I always talking about that to our group, right? Because people will chip away at your boundaries a little bit at a time. And you got to be like, what? Hold on now. I just checked in with myself this morning. That ain't the way I need to go, right? Right. And Miss B. Simmons just made an excellent point, which is love thyself so you can better take care of others, right? But like in her mind, this young lady, and we're going to send blessings to her. I don't know her name. I don't remember, what have you. But, you know, we want to make sure like that our sensors are working in our mind so that we know when someone is trying to manipulate or take advantage of us, that the alarm goes off. The alarm goes off when somebody starts to disrespect you. Yes, thank you, Elder Q Smooth, for following. When someone starts to disrespect you, you shouldn't be like, oh, that's normal. Oh, that doesn't bother me. You shouldn't be like, oh, let me go make the spaghetti. You should be like, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. What's going on right now? You feel what I'm saying? And that's something that I want to make sure that we are aware of as people, is that like people are crossing those boundaries and a lot of folks do not know that. You know what I'm saying? And so Miss Simmons says, I think I lost my mind once because I was trying to do it all. Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of us can go through that, right? A lot of us, but the point of it is like, that doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person. But what happens is we need a total mind, what? Reset. We got to reset. You know what I mean? And the thing of it is that my husband and I, we worked really hard together to sort of balance out that weight between the two of us. And we shared a lot, of trying to get things done and things like that. When you have a partner who doesn't want to share in the responsibility to make your life better and make their life better, you got a problem, right? Because why are you with someone who is so selfish that they don't mind seeing you work your butt off, but they don't want to help, right? So that's a problem because that puts one of y'all in an early grave, and I'm thinking it's the one who is doing all the work. Right? And so just, you know what I mean? Just think about that. And again, and I'm not trying to throw these people under the bus, and I'm not trying to say they're the worst people ever. I'm not saying any of those things, right? I'm simply saying that if you're in a household where a household requires people, everybody to chip in, and if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to chip in, what are we doing? What are we doing? And when you talk, there are videos now Thank you so much, Sister Salafi, for sharing the live. You'll have people now. I saw on TikTok, and the guy was like, I don't want to be a provider man. I don't want to be a provider man. And I'm like, there's a provider man? Like, there's a term, provider man, because somehow we've taken a provider away from a man. I don't even know what, and I listened to some of the stuff that he said, but it was just too crazy because a partnership, y'all know I was married for 23 years before my husband passed away. You know, when you're married, it's a partnership. Y'all are working together for whatever goals that you guys have. Like, so this idea that somehow, what are you, roommates? I don't understand what's happening, you know? And so I don't get it, y'all. And I don't even try to understand because I'm like, some of this stuff is just nonsense. All right, 9, okay. 10, absolutely. Quiet one said, Houston, we have a problem. Miss B. Simmons says, big problem. You know what I'm saying? Yes, what are we doing? And this is what I'm saying. And so it's like to come on TikTok or to go onto Threads and say, I'm in a relationship with someone in which I do everything. Babe, you're not in a relationship. You're not in a relationship because part of a relation is relating. And you're doing all the relating because you're taking care of everything. Because guess what? If you're doing all of the things, what they can't be, what's left? There's nothing left for the person to do. So, you know what I mean? And so again, you have, and they use this term, this male-centeredness term, which I don't like that term. I don't like the term because you could be in a healthy relationship with a male. You absolutely can. And sometimes it seems like when people bring up this term male-centeredness, it takes away the idea that, you know, well, you can't have a healthy relationship if you're in a heterosexual relationship. And I have a problem with that because I think you can. But then you have people who are clearly in a toxic relationship with someone and they can't see, like, wait, this is absolutely toxic, right? And that is something completely different. And I think we have a lot of opinions and people are conflating some of the issues. And I'm like, let's break a lot of these things. Let's break some of these things down because toxic is toxic. And you can have a healthy male relationship and not necessarily, with a male and not be male centered. So Yes, Elizabeth Jenks is chiming in on here. She says, if you're asking for basic hygiene and meds and to get laundry done, get dishes done, I would just do the dishes, laundry, and do basic cleaning and changing the diapers, bathing my son. I don't know if you're saying you as the woman feels like you should do all of that. You don't mind doing all of that. The thing of it is with relationships is you all create what works for you guys. I know, like, you know, my husband would do a lot of stuff outside the home. I would do a lot of stuff inside the home. I would do a lot of different things with the kids on certain things. And then he would be good doing their projects with them, their homework and things like that. So again, it's not one size fits all. But what I'm saying is if you doing everything and they doing nothing, the score is everything to 0. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, my husband, if I was having a rough day, my husband would cook. Most of the time, I would cook, right? But if I was having a rough day, he'd be like, I'm going to cook or I'll pick up something or whatever. So you guys create the rules of your relationship, right? You know, you have a team. Teamwork make the dream work, right? But when you have someone who's not doing anything and you doing everything, right? You really don't have a team. And I think that's the delusion that a lot of people don't really realize, right? That if you're in a relationship and you're doing everything and the other person isn't doing anything, you're not really in a relationship for real. You know what I mean? 9, 10. Quiet one says a man who on live just said that several women he was involved with thought they were in a relationship with him. He asked what made them think that. He didn't respond. This is what I'm saying. And, and I feel for the young people, 11, 12. I feel for young people who are still trying to figure it out, 15, be coupled up. I feel for them because I know it's hard out there. But what I'm saying is that, you know, if the person's not putting forth any effort, you're not in a relationship with them. And there's this guy also, he's in this fabulous house. He's a short guy, wears glasses, look like he has his teeth done because they're all the same size. Listen, I'm trying to describe, I'm a writer, so I'm going to tell you, he has nice, like brown, honey color skin. He's an attractive guy, and he's married, and he's in this big house, and he gives women all these advice. And so his POV is always like, you see the whole back of his house, and he's like, ladies, if the man ain't taking care of you, you know what I mean? And this is sort of his POV as he comes into that. He ain't switching, but he's basically like, ladies, if the man's not taking care of you, blah, 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 blah. And he's doing all these sorts of things. And it's very interesting because he explains why women should be dating multiple guys until they get married. It's very fascinating. When I start interviewing people for my content, he's going to be one of the first people I interview. This guy is fascinating because a lot of women will say, a lot of women will date guys knowing that they're not marriageable material. Y'all can feel free to call me out if you want. And those guys are wasting your time, and also you're wasting your time, right? Everybody understands we're wasting time. And he's saying, if the guy is not marriageable material, there's no need for you to lock yourself down with this person until you find the right person. He is 100% right. But you never hear people say this, right? Like when I first heard him say it, I was like, oh my God, you gonna be dating? Because he's not saying that you have to be in an intimate relationship. You guys know what I'm saying, sleeping with. He's not saying that. He's saying if one person wants to take you out on a date on Monday, and you can have people, you can go to the movies with them, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to lock yourself down and allow somebody to waste your time. This guy, I find him fascinating. I find him fascinating because no guy is on the internet like he's like, all the people that I hear, they always tearing the women down. They always tearing the women down. And this dude be telling women, and I was just like, because he was like, because when I hear him talk about some of the things, it reminds me of my husband. And when I do a video about male and female relationships and what have you, and I talk to people about this kinds of stuff, a lot of these guys be like acting like I'm the weirdo. And I'm like, I'm not the weirdo. Like, if you're like, I had a video where I was talking about partnership, and that, if you're older than your spouse or what have you, then, you should be looking at, hey, if something happens to me, does my wife have life insurance? Does, she has your children, okay? Is she going to be taken care of? The guys was like, this is just a money grab. What are you telling people? There's a money grab. My husband passed away. My son was 15 years old, still had to get through college, right? He was still in high school, basically. If he and I had not set up my life so that whatever happened, what were me and my son going to do? Start over? No, we ain't doing none of that. Why would we? And here's the thing. If that person loves you, why would they want you to start over? Yes, Derek Jackson. Yes, you feel what I'm saying? So like, again, we have these low expectations in a relationship. And I don't know where they come from because, my husband hadn't been married before. I hadn't been married before. But when I got into like my 20s, I started reading every type of financial, okay, what stability do I need as a woman? What do I need you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, by the time I'm 32, I want to be able to have these types of financial things locked down for my life, period. So I started when I was like 24, 25,
And then by the time I was 32, I was like, okay, let me figure out. So it took me 7 years to figure out some different things for stability for me long term, meaning retirement, whatever. I was figuring this out before I was 35. So when you see people who are saying, oh no, I take care of the man, I take care of everything, he's just sitting here, I don't understand the math on that. The math for me isn't mathing, as they say. So Elizabeth says, hey Shatika, how you doing? To God be the glory. Elizabeth is saying, if something happens to you and they don't help you, then do you think they will help you? That's the main question. No, they're not going to help you. They're not going to help you. I ain't do my punches yet. They're not going to help you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a weak link. You know what I'm saying? Punch, punch one, it's a weak link. Punch, punch two, it's a weak link. Punch, punch three, because punch, if you have to always, if you always have to help them, they're never going to be in a position to help you. That's the whole point. That's the thing that people don't understand. Like, if your family is to be strong, let's teach everybody how to get stronger, right? Like if your family is to get strong, let's teach everybody how to get stronger. There's this dysfunction where you have the one successful person in the family and they're supposed to do everything. That's weak. That's weakness. If you're only strong as your weakest link and you got one strong link and the rest of your links in your chain are weak, you have a weak chain, right? But what happens too often is people think, oh, well, let's just go get this person to do it. No, I don't want to be the only person in my family that's going to help someone. Luna, yes, they will. But I want to teach, okay, if I know some financial competency, I want to teach someone else in my family financial competency. I want to teach someone else financial competency. You feel what I'm saying? Luna says, will 3-pound dumbbells do anything with more repetition? Absolutely. That's the whole answer. So say, for example, if you're doing sort of these or whatever, and you're doing 30, do 50. If you're doing 50, do 75, okay? All right. I think I was on 5, punch, punch 6, punch, punch 7, punch, punch 8, punch, punch 9, punch, punch 10, right? And what I'm saying is, but what's happening, in my opinion, is there's a lack of willingness. Like people don't want to learn. Like people don't want to learn. Like people don't want to learn. Like, okay, I've been doing this wrong. How can I change it? Right? They rather keep going to the same person. Punch, punch 11. And I'm saying, no, don't keep coming to me. Let me hip you to the game on what works. And then you go and you create that financial independence for yourself. And then you teach it to somebody else. And that person teaches that to some. You feel what I'm saying? Because one person cannot save the whole village. They can't save the whole village. And I don't care who doesn't believe it. They can't. How can one person do everything? You know what I'm saying? And Ty said, then I say it's coat getting time, not taking on others' burden. Yes, they think they already know. No fame, just cash. I like that name. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that you got to sort of, when you're talking to people, when I talk to my kids and so forth, like you want everybody to be strong enough to help the village. And there was this thing, it was like, oh, you had particularly in Black families, I feel like, oh, you had the successful person, you had the successful cousin, you got the successful aunt, you had the successful sibling. No, we all have the same gene pool. That means that if there is one successful person, you probably have the genetics for all of y'all to be successful. Okay? If you're wasting your genetics, that's on you, right? You're wasting your genetics, but it's not because you can't do it, right? Punch, punch 11, punch, punch 12. So that's punch, punch 13. I know it's Christmas Eve. Punch, punch 14. So I'm just punch, punch 15, punch, punch 16, punch, punch 17, punch, punch 18, punch, punch 19, punch, punch, 20. So, you know what I mean? So that's just a thought, and when I see, and I don't know, I'm gonna tell y'all, I met a lot of women recently who are in relationships and they're doing everything. I'm just gonna leave that out there. Is this what I'm saying? Listen to what Elizabeth said. If you catch the fish all the time and don't teach them to fish, they're not going to know how to fish. This is all I'm saying. Princess Zion says she has her dumbbell at work with me. Let's get 10 more to 30 then. Punch, punch, 20. Punch, punch, 21. Punch, punch, 22. Punch, punch, 23. Punch, punch, 24. Punch, punch, 25. Punch, punch, 26. Punch, punch, 27. Punch, punch, 28. Punch, punch, 29. Punch, punch, 30. Okay, I want to show you guys something my daughter showed me. This is she have all sorts of little workout joints, okay? But this is a band, and these people do a lot of stretching exercise with bands. Y'all know my left shoulder's been a little bit wonky lately. But this right here, this is a way, guys, for us to stretch, your shoulder, okay? So, whenever you see, and this doesn't hurt really at all, but you're doing a slow motion over the head, okay? And it's gonna help open up your shoulder blades, okay? So I don't know if anybody is like me and I get a little achy sometimes in the shoulder area. The left side of my body always acts a little crazy. I want you to know you can do something like this. And these bands, you can get them, wherever, right? But, people have bands on their legs. But this is just another exercise. And what you're doing is you're pushing the weight of your wrist against the band. All right? All right, and again, stretching, particularly as we get older, is so important, right? It's so important. All right, with a band around their upper legs, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Okay, guys, those that celebrate these pagan holidays, you coming on? I probably will be. Come on there. She's so crazy. She said, "Ty, you a mess, girl. You a mess." Okay, punch, punch, 1. Punch, punch, 2, punch, punch, 3, I love it. Okay, punch, punch, 4, punch, punch, 5, punch, punch, 6, punch, punch, 7, punch, punch. What does what do? Punch, punch, 8. What does what do? Punch, punch, 9. B. Simmons. Punch, punch, 10. What do you mean? When you have this band, so what happens is when you have this band around your arms like this. Oh, you're asking about the legs. Okay, so with the legs or whatever, and they're doing them, and you're seeing them, and they're sort of around here. A guy had me do it recently this spring. It apparently strengthens your thighs. So when you see the people and they're walking and they have the bands around here, it strengthens your thigh area. So I think that's what you're talking about. All right. Yes, good morning, you guys. We're just having a fun kickoff to our Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Eve, so we just do what we gotta do. Punch, punch, 11. Punch, punch, 12. Punch, punch, 13. Punch, punch, 14. Punch, punch, 15. Punch, punch, 16. Punch, punch, 17. Punch, punch, 18. Punch, punch, 19. Punch, punch, 20. Okay, we're gonna do 10 more. Make sure you are hydrating, you guys. Make sure you are hydrating. Yeah, yes. Yeah, so that's what it is. Quiet one. Y'all are cracking jokes today. Y'all got me up here, dog, choking, and I ain't even put no water in. Yes, the squats. Carl said the squats. So, so when you have the bands, it's just like, it just intensifies your thigh work. It intensifies your thigh work. Hey, Carl Durham, how you doing? It intensifies that thigh work for you. And so it's a good feeling. All right, let's get our other 10 in on this. Yes, and we're gonna get to our kettlebells real quick. All right, punch, punch, 20, punch, punch, 21, punch, punch, 22, punch, punch, 23, punch, punch, 24, punch, punch, 25, punch, punch, 26, punch, punch, 27, punch, punch, 28, punch, punch, 29, punch, punch, 30. Yes, it's crazy. It's a lot going on. All right, so what we have? Yes, this move, she got off. Yes, I'm doing my Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was like, well, he didn't do that, but it felt like he was like, and boy, I tell you, man, that was a lot. All right, you guys, let's do some, see you tomorrow, Ty. Yes, yes. You're going to put the, oh man, you're doing some lemon pepper chicken. All right now. 1, that's okay. 2, 3, whew, 4, I need to wash my hair. 5, 6, I don't even know. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. We got this, you guys. 4. You're gonna 5. Feel this in your core. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. Princess Zion, you can do these with your weight. 4, your dumbbell. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I have my dumbbell, I'm right here, 11, 12, I guess this is 20, 23, 24, because it feels like I did it twice already, 25, and you're just doing this, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, okay? That's all you're doing. You're just doing 1, 20, 21, 22, 23. I use my kettlebell because it's stronger. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yes, 30. Yes. Hey, what's happening to the globe? Thanks for the follow. All right, let's do some, lift these muscles here. Yes, oh my gosh, 3 pound and 15 and 25 pound kettlebells. Girl, you better than me. All right, let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I love jasmine rice. 7, 8, 9. I don't eat a lot of rice though. 10 for whatever reason. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. We are doing good. Make sure you are hydrating, you guys. Make sure you are hydrating. We're going to do 10 more up here. Yes. Do your best. Yes. Right. Yes. Good. Yeah, I do too. That's really what helped me. What helps me the most probably is, and I was overdoing it on fruit. I was ODing on fruit. If I don't know what was happening, but I was ODing on fruit. And so cutting back on fruit. So now I might do 2 pieces of fruit today, a day, but I don't do, like I might have been doing 4 pieces of fruit a day. So cutting back fruit. And I already told you I don't do white table sugar at all. Now, because of the holidays, I had my son bake me some cookies and stuff like that. So I've had a little bit more sweets overall over like the last week or whatever because it's the holiday. But because I'm working out and I'm still eating healthy overall, I think it'll be okay. All right, you guys, let's get this last 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I don't eat bread at all. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You know, bread makes me hungry. Yeah, bread makes me hungry. I can't speak to nobody else, but bread makes me hungry. You know, I don't know what it is about bread, 3, but it makes me hungry. So if I eat some bread, 5, I'm going to be hungry. 6, and like an hour later, 7. So I don't 8, 9. I don't even eat bread. 10. Because I will be like, I don't know what it is. Because I can eat, say I eat a hamburger and it's not on bread, and a hamburger on bread. The hamburger that I eat not on bread is going to fill me up more. 11, 12, 13. Come on, you guys. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Come on, you guys. 22. We got this. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, 30. All right, okay, you guys. So we're going to wrap up for today. We've been on. We had a lively chat. Make sure that you are stretching and drinking your water over the holidays. Okay, make sure you are stretching and drinking your water over the holidays. Okay, yes. Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely. Fruit is definitely better than those things, but I still was overdoing. I was just eating too much. You know, like sometimes you just got to come to the realization that you doing too much. And for me, I came to that realization. So I'm not pushing that on anybody else. I'm just saying I was doing too much. You know what I mean? You know, because I'm working out all the time. I'm like, gosh, why am I not? And then I started looking at, I'm like, oh, I think I need to take out this. Okay, let me adjust. And I feel like I'm doing a little bit better. My clothes keep feeling a little bit looser and looser and looser. So, you know, and y'all know I have my old clothes, so I don't be throwing nothing away. So I want to fit my old jeans. Absolutely. So you guys have a wonderful Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas Eve and all that kind of stuff. I probably will be on tomorrow morning just because I love starting my day with you guys. I want to exercise. I want to get it in. So we might as well get it in together. If everybody is on the same path, I mean, we might as well do it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, I always say, that, people who don't exercise or what have you, that's fine. You don't have to, but if you end up finding a way to plan it, you'll look forward to doing it because it's like, oh, maybe you find someone you like, connecting with, or then you like the results or whatever. Like you can find yourself liking exercise because you just be like, you know what, this is my life. I'm just going to keep on going and I'm going to keep on going. And it becomes something that you just commit to. Okay. Yes. Nothing sweeter than fitting in jeans 10 years old. Hallelujah. Yes, and I'm serious. I do that. I keep mine, so I be fitting. I be doing that. Yes, and thank you so much. And again, thank you, Quiet One, to for just helping our moderation today. I really appreciate you, and you guys for just being such great community members. When I calculate all the things that were blessings to me this year, is going to be my community that, this community that has come together and we encourage and, we learn from each other. I really, really appreciate you guys because, you motivate me this morning. It was like I was dragging this morning and I was like, you don't got time to drag. You got to go do what you got to do. And so you guys really have motivated me and have made this possible. So I just thank you because you guys have been a gift to me this year. So I will see you all tomorrow at 8:30 because no days off. All right, y'all. Have a good one.